Okay, can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Alrighty ho. I'm going to mute myself, and then Colleen, I think I'll pass over to you. The recording has started, and then I think I'll carry on admitting guests, and then Connie can get going.
Yeah. Bridget, I think you meant Yona, but instead of Cal, but it's okay.
Hello.
Hi. Okay. Should I start, Bridget?
Yes, please. Please do start. Sorry, as I said, I'm multitasking here. Sorry for the name. Correct.
Okay.
Apologies. I am multitasking here. It's not working clearly. Over to you, Yona. Sorry.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining today's presentation. I am Yurita Yona Budram, and I'm currently the technical manager at AECI. Some rules for today. Our presentation today will be recorded. Please turn off all videos and mics, except for our guest speaker, of course. And if questions will be taken at the end, or you could add it to the chat group. So today I've been given the privilege of introducing our guest speaker today, and we are very lucky because she is part of the business development side of the cosmetic industry. Please welcome the inspiring Connie Mashaba as she walks us through her career, which includes a South African heritage brand, Black Like Me, as well as working with one of the giants in the industry, Amka Products. Connie, I hand over to you.
Good morning, Yumna. Good morning, delegates. Good morning, Bridget. Thank you so much for having me today. I'm excited to share my journey. I think sometimes there is so much that we have, but we don't share with other people. And whatever that we share, it's not automatic inspiration, but I think there might be some take-home value that I will share with the delegates today. My name is Connie Mashaba. I come from Hammanskraal. I must just tell you, I come from Hammanskraal. I grew up there, and at the age of 17, I left home. I went to boarding school, and that's where my career journey started. You know, I was listening to my my niece the other day. They were just telling her that once you are 17, there is no turning back. It's, you know, you have about, it's 17, 42 years of your work life, and that's it. But anyway, let me just tell you what my journey started, how my journey started. So firstly, how I started my career. I began as a junior bookkeeper in the hotel industry. I worked for Southern Sun Hotels head office in Sandton. I love working with numbers. And so in 1985, after 2 years, I think 3 years stints in Southern Sun head office, I then got recruited by Herman, who is my husband, when we had a startup of Black Like Me in 1985. And I came in as an administrator because of my love for numbers. So they knew that I was going to take care of the finances of the company. So we were 6 of us, 4 directors and then 2 laborers. And we started, it was exciting. It was exciting. And what we can just say is that we were very grateful for the reception that we got from the salon owners, from the suppliers, from everyone, because we were sort of a new kid on the block. And the reason why we succeeded at the time, I think we were the second company of South African manufactured hair products at the time. That was in 1985. What made us succeed at the time, it was we were so committed. I mean, we were hungry. You know, when you're hungry, nothing will pass your way. So the passion of just making sure that you do what's best, the commitment and the hard work. The guys in the morning, what we used to do in the evening, they load the trucks. In the morning, they go and I stay in the office. And by then, that time, we didn't have communication modes. We had a Siemens phone that was in the car. I would be in the office, and then there would be a call. Then I would run to the car to get the call. Perhaps it could be a supplier or it could be a customer, but that's really how we started. The love of the numbers that made me where I am today. What did I study? I must tell you the story, and I want to tell the story to the young people who are trying to get themselves into careers. The one issue that I had was that I was so busy with my business, then I also neglected my studies. I didn't neglect them as such. What happened is I would register with UNISA, and because towards the end of the year, I would not have time to complete my assignment. I would not have time to write my exams. And guess what? UNISA, they barred me. I think they barred me for about 3 years because I wasn't writing my exams. And my mother one time said to me, you know what? You have to finish it. So I then went and I pleaded, and they said, okay, you could only come in once you've done the basics of business course, just to see that I was serious about finishing or studying. So I did the basics of business. So it was a 1-year diploma. And my dean said to me, okay, you've got the basics of business. There's no belt, there's no hood. What are you thinking? Register for BCom. So I registered for BCom, a degree, and I left work for the time. I just made sure that I focus on my studies because it took me almost 3 years before I could even really be serious about studying. So I did BCom, did it full time, 3 years, got it in 3 years. And when I graduated, my mentor said to me, okay, you are graduating 1 belt. Do you think it's enough? And I thought, oh my goodness, what is she saying to me? So what I did, I then registered for BCom honors in business management. I worked very hard. I got it in 1 year. But you know what? It wasn't just because of my cleverness that I got it. I had a lot of support. I have support of my mother. I have support of my domestic person who took care of the kids while I was studying. I had support of my husband. So what I'm saying is, if you really want to do something, you can get it. I was yearning for that BCom degree, and not just for a BCom degree, but for the knowledge or for the skills that I was learning from that. As a junior bookkeeper, getting your BCom, it was helping in terms of really expanding my knowledge. So that was the greatest time. So what happened also after that, I took over Black Like Me as an MD in 2007. Excuse me. And what happened is I now had to focus on sales and marketing, not only on finance, but the entire company. So now I had marketing managers, I had marketing brand managers, and you know what? They were coming up with all this marketing jargon. And I thought, now I'm an accountant. What do I do with all this marketing stuff? Guess what I did? I decided, you know what? For me to learn, let me skill myself. I went to AAA School of Advertising. I decided to enroll for a marketing diploma so that I can understand what this marketing is all about. What is this sales and marketing is all about? When I sit with my team, I understand what they were saying. When they tell me about the reach, when they tell me about the 6 P's of marketing, or the 8, now they call them 9 P's of marketing. So I decided, let me just go and learn. So what did I do? I went and registered for marketing diploma with AAA School of Advertising. In 3 years, I completed my diploma. Why am I doing this? I think it's important when you are in a career or in business. So if I talk about business, you need to be holistic. Yes, you can't be jack of all trades, but at least understand a bit of each division within your business. So I thought it was important for me to develop and skill myself in sort of all areas of business. Now it's accounting, it's advertising, obviously management. I was doing management, all along. So that is one of the things that I believe to be successful as a business person. Just give yourself with bits and pieces. You don't really have to be doing one thing, because otherwise it sort of limits, it stifles your career. So be as curious as it can be. So the beauty industry, what triggered my passion in the beauty industry? I think the beauty industry is very dynamic. One could be in manufacturing, one could be in sales, one could be in marketing. It's just a creative industry. I mean, we have creative stylists in what? In your nails, in the hair, in other people are just creative in just making you look good. So for me, I think the passion of being in the beauty industry is just that the possibilities are endless. Possibilities are endless. And I believe someone in the beauty industry can never go hungry, because we become creative, not only in the office, but also outside. As I say, I believe can never go hungry. And I think also the barriers are very, very low. Barriers of entry are very low when it comes to beauty industry. The satisfaction of being in the industry is the contribution of giving, for me, I think, giving confidence and pride to a whole lot of consumers, because consumers believe in what they get from us. And I think it's important that whatever you do, think about yourself as a consumer, not the consumer that is there. So for me, like for instance, in our manufacturing and the distribution business, when we formulate a product, I say to the guys, do it as it is your product, not as is someone's product. Because in that way, if it's your product, you'll make sure that all the ingredients are good ingredients. There's safety, there's nutrition, there's everything that you need, whether it's for your skin, whether it's for your hair. So whatever you do, do it as if you are the consumer. So I've been in the industry for almost 36 years, and I think it's a career that I was destined for, and I don't think I can change any day to go to another industry, because I know it so well. And I think, as I say, for young people who are entering the industry, please grab it with all your hands, everything, because as I say, you cannot go wrong at all. And then what are the challenges that I have met? I don't know what's, excuse me. The challenges that came through, because obviously in life, you can never have a smooth life. It's just like that, it's given. You have to go through some difficulties. The challenges that I encountered in my career had to be constantly being innovative. You've got to be innovative all the time. The beauty industry trends change, and one has to be relevant in making sure that your consumer needs are met. Once you miss the trend, it takes a long time to adjust, and this could be costly to the business. And as a company, as Black Like Me ourselves, we went through a roller coaster. There were some times when we made mistakes of changing packaging. Sometimes we made a mistake of just missing that relaxer and going for perm and going for this. So those are the challenges. And you know what? Consumers will punish you if you don't take care of them. So it is important that whatever you do, when you make these products, who are you making them for? You're making them for consumers. So it's very important that you've got to be consumer-centric. So we've had a lot of multinationals business coming into the country. As I said, when we started, we were about 2 or so manufacturing companies, South African manufacturing companies. And now as time went by, there's opportunities. We're living in a global environment. So multinationals came into the country and they brought competitive challenges. Although competition is good, because what it does, it makes you to be on your toes to make sure that you can't be left behind. However, it can take you out of business if you are not prepared. So we as a company went through 2 acquisitions, I must tell you, in the interest of expanding into new markets and also coming up with new products. It wasn't easy with the first one. We were acquired, the first time we were acquired by Colgate-Palmolive, had some shares in the company. The reason for us to be acquired was to really go into different markets, especially in Africa, and just expand our knowledge of the hair care industry, of the beauty industry. However, within 2 years, we realized that we are not a fit. It wasn't working. So we bought the company back from Colgate-Palmolive, and we went back and did, the homework and said, what is it that we can do to come back to what we know best, which also is the hair care industry. So anyway, our values were not in line. The second one that we had is where I am today with Amka products. Amka products, there's a lot of synergies. There's a lot of economies of scale. The values are the same. We got a whole lot of distribution network. We in Africa, in a lot of African countries, and I think when you get into partnership with anyone, there has to be that kind of fit. The values must be the same. And in that way, you can see, the success. So that's where we are, and I'm very grateful where we are right now. And I see the growth. It's getting there, and it's important also for us to be as innovative, as creative as possible. Because right now, I think in the country we probably have over probably 200 brands in beauty, in hair care. And how do you compete? How do you compete amongst those brands? So it's important for us to be as innovative as possible. The challenges, as I said, the challenges are those. There were many challenges, but it's there. And then what are some of the highlights? I think creativity is amazing. When I did my MBA, I did my MBA about 4 years ago. I got bored, but also it was not just boredom, but also it was just to say, for me, the sky is not the limit. So in 2019, I enrolled to do an MBA with Wits Business School. I was taking my chances, and I never thought that I would be accepted. I don't know, for whatever reason, for my age. And I got accepted. And very interesting is learning, it's never too late for one to learn. I think in the class, the average student in the class was about 29, 30 years old. So I was an outlier because I was already in my late 50s, going to my 60s. And guess what? The energy that I got from these young people was so amazing. Learning. I thought I was a leader. I thought I knew everything. Guess what? I got into the business school. I learned quite a lot of stuff. I relearned. I learned. So again, I'm emphasizing the education. It might not be your typical degree, but one has to really make sure that you skill yourself with anything that if you have to go, if let's say, for instance, one does manufacturing, just keep updated with, the trends. If one is in sales and marketing, make sure that you go to, short courses that are there for sales and marketing. So that's what I did. So I got my MBA in 2021. At my age, one would say, why are you studying? But look at me. I don't see me stopping at any point. I think the only time I can stop work is when my brain is no longer functional. But it's important. I am stressing that it's important to develop yourself, to skill yourself at any point in time. In that way, you get energized all the time. You don't want to be stuck in one thing. Sales. Sales is sales, but there's creative way of doing this sales. So my highlights really was just being creative, seeing what's happening in the industry. I'll tell you, my thesis at the business school was about cosmetics, because I'm in cosmetics. My question was, especially for my age group, I don't see them using color cosmetics. So I wanted to find out, why are they not using color cosmetics in their daily life? And I'm not just saying the lipsticks, but the base, the makeup, and everything that is in our industry. If you are, for me, if you're a woman, I know men are there as well. If you're a woman, you've got to make sure that every morning when you get up, you look the best version of yourself. And then what happens? You enhance yourself with the beauty products. There's makeup there that is there for us. So it adds on that beauty that God has given you. So that's what we need to do. And it makes one confident as you walk out of your door every day. So that was I did. So with my questions at the business school was the reason why people were not having putting on makeup and other, cosmetic products. What was the reason? Was it personal reasons? Was it social reasons? Or was it cultural reasons? I guess, some people will say cultural, but the answer really, when I did my qualitative and when I did my quantitative, the answer was that it was more personal, and because people did not know how to use the product. And again, people did not have the right color for their skin. So there you go. You who are in manufacturing, who are in formulation, make sure that the products that you're doing are for all type of skins. If it's a brown skin, if it's a light skin, if it's a very, very light skin, make sure that we are inclusive in the way we make our products, because you don't want, as a darker woman, you don't want to be looking ashy because of the color of the base that you have. So those were my highlights in also in the business school, where I learned so much in terms of what it is that people like, especially women, when they sit in front of the mirror and do the skincare routine. So makeup is so important. So just watch the space. There is something that is coming from my side. So what is important, especially with our industry, the beauty industry and the hair industry, when we see the people out there wearing our products, you know that it brings the confidence. It brings, they look successful. When you're looking good, you look successful. So I always say, any woman that doesn't look after herself is an ugly woman. And there is no ugly woman unless you take care of yourself, unless you take care of your skin, how you dress. And it doesn't have to be expensive, but this is how, as the people in the industry, have to sort of create these ways of engaging with people for them to look good at all the times. And I find, what is interesting, I find the young and upcoming cosmetic manufacturers in the scene, and which is so great. And I think what we need to do, us as the older generation, we need to hold them, we need to hold their hands and give them, even if you do it in your own kitchen, you do it in your own whatever, just be creative. The sky is the limit for everyone in this country. So I know that the young people need mentorship, they need to be given all the chances. We are here, we can help you in terms of how to go to get the distribution network of your products. These days, you can sell online, you can sell through brick and mortar, you can sell through, Amazon is here, Takealot is here. The young manufacturers, grab this opportunity. The sky is the limit for you guys. Yeah. The advice, I can never stress it. This is a dynamic career. It's a dynamic industry. There is the saying that the beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and the sky is the limit in the beauty industry. If you really want to grab this, go for it. As I said earlier on, you can do nail, can be a nail technician, you can be a manufacturer, you can be sales in market, you can be in sales and in marketing, you can be a hair technician, you can be makeup artist. There is the opportunities are endless in the beauty industry. So that is the advice, that if anyone wants to be in this industry, and the creative part of it, you can create anything you want to create. I mean, I see some young people would go, when you go to this parties, you see young people having all these amazing makeovers, and these makeovers are not done by them. Sometimes they are done by people coming from outside, the beauticians. That is another career. Massages, waxing, there's endless, especially as long as there is a man born in this world. And I'm not saying a woman, a man, a person born in this world. They are likely to use your products at any point in time. They're likely to use your services at any point in time. So let's grab this, especially as young entrepreneurs. The sky is the limit. That's all I can say. And I always learn from John Maxwell. He says success is an inside job. Success isn't about what you accomplish in life, but what you inspire others to do. And it is born from ability to be able to, if you are capable to do something, it is born out of motivation, how you want to do it. And it is born out of the attitude, what you do with that. I am so grateful for this opportunity that you guys have given me to talk to you. I'm ready if there are any questions that are directed to me. Thank you so much. I want to thank Coschem and Bridget and the team for organizing this. I am eternally honored to be part of this industry. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, Connie. We really appreciate you taking us through your career. Is there any questions from the attendees?
Guys, if you're too shy to take your microphone off, you can just type it into the chat. I think it's just inspiring, Connie, to see where people start and where they end up. And as you say, it's not a straight line. You take many directions and deviate, and knowledge is power. As you say, you've diversified from marketing to business to all sorts of backgrounds, and it encompasses and at the end of the day, that makes you who you are. So it was a lovely journey. Thank you for sharing. I know it's not as scientific, but I mean, you're in the sector, and I think this is where it's interesting that it's so encompassing from a different perspective. It's lovely to see. I know we have some students that are all doing BScs and they're more on the scientific side, but sales is a massive aspect of it. I think there is something in the chat now. I also, just while we are chatting, Yona as well, maybe I'm going to pass back to you. I just want to quickly run through Connie's slides because they did stagnate, and I will share them afterwards. But not stagnate's not the right word. Sorry, they got frozen.
Frozen.
But I'm just going to share my screen again quickly. Yeah, frozen, stagnate. Listen to me.
It's the same thing.
Anybody else got questions? Thank you.
There is a question from Beautiful. She is asking, do you offer mentoring?
Yes, I do offer mentoring, but I am very strict with that because mentoring it's a two-way relationship. And I always say, as you mentor, you also get mentored yourself. So I do have a few people that I mentor. You know what? There is so much that we can pass through, to the younger generation. So I'm open to that.
Okay.
I think with my many years of experience in the industry, I've been in the industry for almost 38 years. So as I say, I moved from finance, I went to marketing, I went to run the entire business. So I'm sort of, you can never know it all, but at least I have the wisdom and the idea of how this beautiful industry of ours operates.
Another
I think
question.
mentors are so important. Yeah. Sorry, Connie, just if somebody did want to go that route, can they contact me for your details, or how would you want to manage that? Yeah.
Absolutely,
okay,
absolutely.
Okay, beautiful.
I'm
Just pop
happy
me a
with
mail.
that. Yeah. Obviously, it will depend on the time, but I just want someone who's serious about wanting to be mentored, because when I do mentoring, I just make sure that it's something that is put in our diaries, and we're not going to just go and chat and have tea. It's something that is very structured, and in that way we get value out of our meeting.
Yeah. Thank you. Sorry, Yona, back to you.
No, it was about beautiful question again.
Okay.
Connie, I had the privilege of working with you at Amka, and
Yes.
just from my side, you were so inspiring, especially a woman of color, for the rest of us to show us, like, how far we can get actually with hard work and things. And I really appreciate that from my side.
Thank you very much, Yumna. We miss you, but we know that you are going into great heights wherever you are. I think it's a privilege really to work, especially with young women, just to inspire them. I don't get up in the morning to go inspire. I get up in the morning to do what I have to do, but in the process of what you are doing, you do inspire people, and it's how we also take care of ourselves, as especially as the adults, because young people are looking at us as exemplaries. So it's important that whatever I do it not for myself only, but for the young entrepreneurs. And I think the one other thing that I want to warn our young entrepreneurs or young technicians or young beauticians, please, I think it's important to get experience from the workplace. I think because we just want to be entrepreneurs, from school to doing your own business sometimes can be very tricky because you don't know the ins and outs of business. I always encourage someone from school, go to a company, work there, get the experience, and if you are ready to be on your own, you would have gotten experience, you would have gotten the contacts, people that when things are tough, you can refer back to. So don't just leave school and start your own. It gets very difficult when you don't have referrals or someone to really fall on your shoulder. Get your experience first, and then from there branch to whatever that you want to do.
Thanks. Thank you again, Connie, for that advice. There's many comments on the chat group, very inspiring. Thank you from Will. Margaret says, thank you, Connie. So good to hear your story. Liesel says, thank you for sharing. Safira says, thank you, Connie. Very inspiring. So impressed by your constant acquisition of knowledge. We look up to you, especially as Black women in the industry. And Rowan says, thank you, Connie and the Coschem team, always inspiring. So I don't think there's much questions. You are an inspiration to all of us, and that is the constant that we are seeing today.
Yes.
And we appreciate it. If there is Natashka as well, I know you've worked with Natashka as well. And
yes, I did. Yes.
She says, lovely to see you again, and thank you for sharing. So there's not much questions. Bridget, I think we can end if you are okay with that, or are we going ahead with Yorinda?
Yeah. Well, I think Yorinda's going to run through a short presentation on the society. I think most members, if they'd like to carry on the platform, they're welcome to stay on. But this is more aimed at younger students and people that are not aware of what Cos involved with the course, if there's questions pertaining to that. So I think, Connie, if you'd like to, you're welcome to stay, but I know you need to dash. I just wanted to extend thanks again. And then I'm going to pass over to Yorinda. Thanks, everybody. Yorinda, over to you.
Thanks, Bridget. Just before Connie goes, I also just wanted to say, Connie, really, it was such an inspiration to watch, your presentation and just to learn where you came from and what you have achieved in your career. So really, it was truly an inspiration. For everyone who doesn't know who I am, I'm Yorinda Nal. I'm currently the Coschem president for 2024. I'm also the sales and marketing manager at Vantage Specialty Chemicals. So the idea of this is really just to run through and actually to elaborate and add on what Connie was already saying as to what you can do or how you can get involved in this beauty industry or in the cosmetic industry, as a whole. So just to look, I think there is a lot of different opportunities in this industry, as Connie also mentioned, from manufacturing to raw material and packaging suppliers, also consultants. There's really a broad spectrum of different career opportunities in our industry. There's the technical side, the marketing side, as I mentioned, procurement, legal, entrepreneurship, logistics and finance as well. So it's really, there's such a broad spectrum for everyone that wants to start a career in the cosmetic industry. When we look under technical, for example, you can do, this is more when you work in a lab, for example, you're involved in research and development, new product development, a scientific transfer of technology information, product safety evaluation, stability testing. I think the world's your oyster. There's endless of opportunities. Also under technical, still quality assurance and control, compliance to certain regulations. Also looking at product manufacturing, the safety and health environment, product planning, process engineering, factory management. When we also look at the raw material and packaging supply, on technical sales, technical support, giving formulation advice to customers, for example, maybe claim substantiation and support. Obviously, on the regulation and legislation side, you have the CTFA, the Advertising Regulatory Board you can be part of, looking at regulatory affairs and how that's involved in products, and so forth in this industry. Obviously, entrepreneurship, I think that's where Connie also, where her career started, was as she was an entrepreneur. Many of these have started as entrepreneurs and started their own businesses. There's that opportunities as well. I think, as I mentioned, like the world is really your oyster, as Connie said, the sky is really the limit. There is no limitations. Obviously, there's some challenges involved, but there's really, there's a lot that you can do in this industry. You can become a consultant. You can give marketing or regulatory or formulation expertise. On the marketing side, brand management, concept generation, really taking the product from the start right through until it's actually being launched, graphic designing, advertising, all of that falls under marketing, for example. You can also be involved in procurement in the beauty industry. That's basically where you assist with raw material and packaging sourcing. You help with planning and placing orders, negotiation on pricing, for example, with different suppliers. Then this is when you work, for example, for manufacturers as well. And then on the logistics side, I think, it also comes part of it, warehousing, storing the actual finished products, distributing it to different areas, import and export as well. There's a lot of opportunities that oh, excuse. No, it's not going on. There we go. Let's just, oh, there we go. So yeah, just this picture just shows you this slide shows you the council members and office bearers for 2024. As you can see, these are all of us that work in the background at Coschem. And I think, it's inspiring if you can, look at this and think, you would like to be here as well. There's a lot of opportunities involved with Coschem as well. And I think coming to the benefits of being a Coschem member, obviously Coschem is a scientific society. There's a lot of networking and a lot of different opportunities when you do become part of a member at Coschem. I think there's a lot of things we offer as well as a society. I think we have our annual scientific conference that takes place in September. We have the evening lectures that takes place that gives you more on-trend information or any topic that normally discussed is what's happening currently in the industry. Morning seminars are more of your scientific information brought through on certain topics as well. We have basic refresher lectures. Obviously, we have our Coschem our cosmetic science course. And we have formulation days and suppliers days that we also do. Addition to benefits as well is the social networking. I think, being part of the Coschem network is really is fundamental in being part of this cosmetic industry. This is really where you learn, where you get to know a lot of people in the industry. And, Bridget is there if you need any questions, but it's really, the networking side is really very important for one's career if you do want to be part of the cosmetic industry. We also affiliated with the IFSCC, which is an international federation. We have chapters in Natal and Cape Town, so we're definitely broadening our reach. And we also have industry vacancies that we do advertise when needed. Just if you do want to be part of the Coschem committees, these are the different ones we have. We have the membership, the social, lecture evenings, the scientific, the PRO, seminar, and the different regional chapters as well. So if you really feel that you want to be more part of Coschem, there is these options as well. And we all, have different teams and different objectives, but, it's really good to get to know one another there. Coming back to our cosmetic science course, this is actually a part-time 2-year course. At the moment, we're actually doing the online version. Just some examples of modules. There you can see legislation. We focus on hair care, skincare, packaging, emulsion technology. We also have a final year project that needs to be submitted annually or each in your second year. That gives you a good idea on really starting with the initial product development phase and really going through to the launch phase. It really is quite good for getting experience. And then just some entry requirements is grade 12 maths and science. And then obviously you would have to become a Coschem member as well, but you're a student member then. Just some subjects that we do cover in the cosmetic science course. As I mentioned, it's a 2-year part-time course. So you can see there the subjects covered in the first year. And these lectures normally take place on Tuesday evenings at 5 o'clock online via Teams. And then you also have the module 2, which is the second year students that you can see there as well, that the different subjects we do cover. As you can see, it's quite comprehensive. It really covers anything from cell physiology through to baby care, hair care, as I mentioned, decorative cosmetics and all of that. Then just giving you some pictures of some celebrations that we have had throughout the year. This is the annual prize giving dinner that normally happens in February each year. This really just celebrates the achievements of the past year's students. And it's always quite a nice event to go to and to see all of the students, specifically because it's online now. So it's quite nice to make contact with all of them again. Currently, we're also busy with supplier days throughout the regions. We've had the Joburg Supplier Day in Bryanston Country Club on the 15th of May. The next one that's coming up is the KZN Supplier Day. That one's going to happen now in about 2 weeks' time on the 12th of June at the Westville Country Club. And then in July, we have the Cape Town one that's happening at the Carthen Walker premises. And then we also have our Joburg, our conference, our scientific conference. And we're going to have a supplier section there as well, which takes place between the 11th and 12th of September, both of those days. This is just to show you which suppliers are going to actually be present at the KZN Supplier Day. As I mentioned, this is in about 2 weeks' time. You can just see there. If you are interested in just, coming and meeting everyone, please just feel free to contact Bridget to book your spot as well. We're very excited to see everyone there as well. As I mentioned, we also have online lectures happening throughout the year. This one happened earlier in the year. This was our formulation day. The idea of the formulation day is we host this also annually, normally by Feb, March each year. And this is really just to give anyone some formulation advice. There's normally a set amount of suppliers present, and then they showcase some innovative formulations with their raw materials. So it's really a nice, fun day for technical expertise to come out and get some formulation advice and so forth. Then this is our Cosmetic, our scientific conference that's happening in September. The theme this year is Cosmetic Wellness, the Age of Beauty. So as I mentioned, this happens each year. It's a scientific conference, and we also have various presenters, and they presenting their posters, and it's quite nice for just to also see what people or suppliers or students have been working on throughout the year. Obviously, today was my journey into the personal care industry. The next 2 sets that we have planned is the next one is on the 19th of June, and Hybrid LaRue from Future Cosmetics will just be taking us through her journey. And then on the 28th of August, it's Portia from the Portia M brand, and she will then also be taking us through her career. As I mentioned, we are part of the IFSCC. This is the International Federation of Societies of Cosmetic Chemists. It's an international federation, and it's really, it's quite nice to be affiliated with this federation. It also broadens our horizon. You can see we're one of 51 societies, and it covers about 81 countries. We're also very excited to announce that we got awarded the bid to host the 2029 IFSCC Congress here in South Africa. So we excitedly busy planning that. So we have really lovely journeys ahead as well as a society. And then the IFSCC also has a webinar series. This takes place every 2 weeks, normally on Wednesdays. This is free to all Coscare members, and this is really where people come with sharing their expertise and studies that they've also been working on. So it's quite nice to also look at that. And then as a Coscare member, you can also have access to the Cosmet database. This is a scientific database that you can see has abstracts, articles, papers, different information that you also can have a look at. Then we also have the IFSCC magazine that normally is issued about quarterly. And we also have several awards that's also involved with the IFSCC, or you can if you, for example, have publish your articles, you are eligible for the 2024 Henry Mason Award. There's the Mason G. de Navarra Young Scientist Essay Prize as well. This is for anyone that's 35 years or younger. Then there's normally about, I think, 3 or 4 assignment topics or essay topics, and you write it, and then the winning essay actually gets invited to the Congress for that year. So that's also quite exciting. And yeah, if you want to know how do you get involved, obviously you can contact Bridget, as I have mentioned. We also have various social media platforms. We have, you can visit our website, you can go into our LinkedIn page, you can join our Facebook page as well. So yeah, that was just basically just to tell you what we are offer as the benefits we offer for memberships, and also what you can achieve or where you can go in the personal care industry. Is there any questions?
Thanks, Yorinda. There's nothing in the chat. So I think thank you to all the people that stayed online for the presentation. I think if you've got any queries, you're welcome to just pop an email through to me if you have a question or if you want to pose a question now. But thank you for that. And is there anything else from anybody's side? Just popping my email address in the chat, but you should all have it at this stage of the game. Thanks, Yorinda.
Perfect, Bridget. Thank you.
Okay, I think on that note, we can close the morning. Thank you again to Connie, Yona. Thank you, everybody.
I've been here.
Oh, thanks, Connie.
I've been here. Thank you. I really,
Okay.
very impressive. I think you're covering quite a lot of stuff within the beauty industry. And thank you once again. I will move on now. Thank you, Bridget. Have a lovely day.
Thanks, Connie. Thank you.
Thank you, Connie.
You have a lovely day
Okay.
too. Thanks, Connie.
Bridget, there's just one
Yes.
question in the chat. When does registration open for the course? So I think that normally opens in September, if I'm not mistaken. However, what I would suggest is if you are interested, please send through your that you want an email from Bridget when the course opens or when registration opens, because then Bridget can send you the registration information. Because I'm honest with you, it quite fills up quite fast. So if you are on the mailing list, at least then you are aware of when it does open.
Yeah, I think also follow us on the social platforms. You know, we do advertise it then on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. We will notify and say, look, you know, probably around the middle of September, we open the registration. But like Yorinda's saying, we do limit the intake of students to 40 per year. And that's mainly just because obviously our specialists are limited. So we can't really overextend them. So we do limit the intake to 40 students a year, and it does literally fill up in the first week. So just make a note in the diary, and then also just contact us and keep an eye on the social platforms. Okay. All right, I think that's it. Okay, guys, thank you for your time. Appreciate it all. Thanks, ladies, for hosting. It's nice for somebody else to present. I get tired of hearing my own voice, so I appreciate Yona and Yorinda. Thank you very much, and
Thank
have a
you,
lovely
Bridget.
day. Thank you,
Thanks.
everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Keep well. Bye.